You get 100 for every person you can bore to sleep with a lecture. What topic would you pick and what would you talk about? A cultural comparison of the act of yawning from 1620 to 2019. I already yawned because of you. Shit, me too. Me too. My jaw is clenched so hard right now. Edit. Fuck. Me too. I'm holding it in. Never mind. ISO 9001 Quality Management Systems. Guaranteed to put 99.9% of people to sleep. But fuck, do I love some perfectly documented work instructions. Holy shit, I think we have a winner. A romance novel based on my love life. So I saw this girl back in first grade. The end. I touched her back when we played tag. I have never washed my hands since. 2020 has made this habit dangerous. But damn it. Mask/basic sanity oppress my freedom. Just wear a glove on the hand instead. That way it would have been like she's forever holding your hand. And you can say you're imitating Michael Jackson. Concrete composition. I don't know, man. They are probably going to be on the edge of their seats when you explain how to adjust the water to cement ratio for the moisture content of the aggregate. Say aggregate again. Aggregate. Stop being dirty. Damn dude. I'm a professor who has been teaching 300 students for 15 years. Assuming that half didn't want to be there in the first place, generous assumption. I'm up to 225,000 without changing my behavior. My guess is that some of my colleagues who teach more auditorium style or high enrollment online classes are many multiple millionaires under this scenario. What do you teach? Jargon. Like linguistics, semantics, sophistry. I'll ask my history teacher. She seems to understand the territory. Don't. She'll get $100. When it comes to zoning ordinances, I have a few thoughts. I'm interested. Technical Minecraft and Redstone. I'd listen all day long to that. I already do. I feel like the usefulness of lecturing is directly proportional to the charisma and engagement of the speaker. I have had great classes with great lecturers where I learned a ton because they were passionate, knowledgeable, and also entertaining. I add emphasis for this last one because good interactive means of learning play off on this quality very well. Unfortunately, not everyone has an entertaining solo personality or the passion/engagement to make up for a lack of entertaining personality. To me, the lack of effectiveness of lecturing speaks as much to the wide range of quality of lecturers as it does to the means of learning itself. The problem might be that many people that don't have a skill set for lecturing are forced to use lecturing as their primary means of teaching. Edit. A lot of people are talking about the entertainment bit. I don't mean entertaining in the sense of dance monkey dance or some sort of contrived act to keep people awake. I mean entertaining in that there is an immediate satisfaction from listening to or engaging in the content of the lecture. This matters a lot as material can be presented in ways that don't make its relevance apparent or its core interesting, and thus people get bored and forget. Again, part of the thing that interactive learning can take advantage of is that there is a sense of immediate payoff, like figuring out how something is coded in example, but still. In a lecture this might take the form of being presented a new connection that you would not have thought of under normal circumstances. This is another crude example. The idea is that your attention isn't the end point but the means of getting to the something like that. I'll stop before I start rambling. Edit 2. _aren't just boring there ineffective _2/chh2wh9. This is kind of what I am getting at. The notes aren't a chore in a class of this sort, but a joy in that you are making new connections in your mind. Not saying that all lecturing is all good, but just a good example of how it might work well. Okay. I have to get back to work now. Bold statement. I see what you did there. Number and slash or set theory. I think I'd have most people asleep by the time I got done proving how 10, using field axioms. Y'all better get ready for my series on the Fibonacci sequence. An all-day seminar on the science of watching paint dry. Or better, just watching paint dry. History. I'm really into it and could talk about it for a long time, but hardly anyone else is even remotely interested. You'd be surprised. But I guess it also depends what kind of history. The history of history and all its mystery. Today we're going to talk about people talking about history. A meditative lecture with comfy chairs, warm room, and relaxing music. Anything computer science related. I'd be interested, but I'd probably understand only like 1/3 of what you're saying and interrupt you with questions every 2 seconds. In hindsight, it wasn't the best answer. I assumed most people would be bored out of their minds hearing some dude rant about databases or networks. But I guess some people would actually be intrigued and listen. Definitely. I watched an over 1H presentation of a guy and some printers, which had a bug that changed scannings. I've never been more entertained by something so boring. The intelligence of Rick and Morty. The Gear Wars. The inner workings of an Amazon fulfillment center. It's a lot more mundane than you'd think. Where do you guys store all the pee bottles? In the cupboard with the union representatives and basic human rights. I'd tell Em about the time I took the ferry over to Shelbyville. I needed a new lace for my shoe. So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Okay. Abe Simpson. My life story. The story of a weld. What detailed visual analysis of a weld can tell us about the events that occurred during the process? 4 hours of non-stop talking about pictures of welds, targeted towards young engineering students that don't know anything about welding. So I'm going to start from the basics. For best view of the pictures, I'll put the lights really dim. I'll also set the AC cool. Highly recommend to bring a snack, a drink, and an empty bottle or a diaper, because I ain't stopping once I start, and I'll lock the doors. Colin Robinson would be a bloody rich guy. I'd outsource the actual lectures to him, and make bank as the middleman, procuring audience members by luring them in with free donuts and a nap. Everybody wins. Luring people with a nap. There's a $1 million idea. The terms and conditions to every website. Foreign policies compared to America's. I would love to listen to this. Cost accounting. That class manages to put 70 people to sleep 3 times a week. I'm a tax accountant, I'd just have to talk about my job. Different shades of sheep wool. Horizontal meditation with practical aspects. Practical studies include examining your eyelids for holes. How to earn $20 falling asleep in my lecture. Quantum mechanics. Shit's boring as hell to the average person. I enjoy it though. If you can get the right person to explain it, it can be fun. Can be said about anything though. True that. Cache storage. Risk assessment and hazardous waste processing. Or literally anything. I could be talking about sexy bottoms or gunfights or culture wars. My voice is naturally soporific enough to make anyone doze off. My mum calls me when she can't sleep. Autism. I'd be surprised if people would be interested in that unless they know someone who has it. But it's the only topic I know enough about to be able to do a lecture on it. I'd be interested in that. I think that's a super important topic. And I'm ashamed to say that I know very little about autism. Sadly, a lot of people that has the diagnosis doesn't know anything about it either. There's a severe lack in psychoeducation for people with ASD. You just get the diagnosis and is then sent on your way, as it's not something you can really treat. But it is something most people in general knows nothing about apart from the stereotypes. But same goes for a lot of stuff like that. LOL. Yeah. Unfortunately. A lot of stigma and misconceptions out there. For instance, a lot people don't get that it is integral to who we are. In the same way that race or gender are for others, and that you can't separate it from the person. So you can't treat or cure it. And most of us autistic people don't want to be anyway. I'll get off my soapbox before I give a lecture now. Here. You know what I get tired about? You don't look/sound autistic. What the hell are we supposed to do look/sound like? Haven't heard that one, but I know it's a common saying. I guess a lot of people still have this belief that we're all Rain Man when we're not. They like to think autism is a mental deficit rather than what it is, which is a different language of social communication. Yeah. I have been asked, can I do math or remember the day precisely? I can't, but I'm the happiest when I am doing art. Especially origami. But when my attention wanders off because I see something that I consider interesting, then they say, oh, you can't be autistic if you like. The other one is, but you are a grown-up. Apparently they forget that children grown up and that you don't grow out of autism. I'm the same way, except my interest is history. Name kind of gives that away. I'm met on math, but get me focused on a fact-based discipline, and I have an encyclopedic memory. My memory is weird. I can't tell time. Even the day of the week is hard for me. But put a piece of paper in front of me and I will tell you exactly how to fold it to get whatever it is that you want to make. And I am pretty good with geometry, so it figures, because origami is one of the most beautiful applications of the math, and I'm really good at estimating the length, width, height of almost anything. It has few practical uses. But I like walking up to a tree and tell how tall it is. Random things. True. I can relate to that. It's super common for me to lose track of time. You seem to have more of a spatial memory, whereas mine's very fact-driven. I'm a teacher and some of my students fall asleep on the regular. Send me money, please. Tort law. I go full Colin Robinson as I explain duties owed and possible ramifications. That is my current topic in bar prep, and damn is it boring. Car parts may be wankles, but my favorite topic to get people to piss of is anime. Syllabus policies. Sleep hypnosis. I will simply give them an example and bore everyone to sleep. The lockout tagout safety video I have to watch every year at work. I struggle to make it through it while slamming energy drinks. I have it about memorized now. I will just recite it. Tax codes. Feminism. I say the word and my friends are already not listening anymore. How to fall asleep, practical tutorials included. My thesis. Adsorption of surfactant mixtures to low energy surfaces. Calculus and optimization. Myself. Warhammer 40k lore. Bueller. How to choose the right size hook for crocheting a blanket based on the type of yarn you've chosen. An explanation of every single word in the English dictionary. Where it originated from. What it means. Different uses for it. Etc. Each word would take about 5 to 10 minutes to explain. Somebody do the math on how long the speech would be. Japanese Grand Sumo. I would talk about its history and how that has been translated into the modern nuances of the sport. Then I go into depth on the individual rikishi, their Kimurite specialties, professional records, etc. I would do it all in a condescending monotone a la Jordan Schlansky. I'd leave out the fun stuff like the scandals, the rampant abuse and corruption, the bar fights, the hazing, and the different wrestlers' amazing social media accounts.